Over here in the upper left, in the red, our Protoss player. He is
Sanzelis.
And over here in the blue, by the way, those headphones do light up as the APM action per minute increases. Our old school Zerg player.
TheWind.
Somebody shut the windows. It's getting a little breezy in here.
Okay, so this last game, he looked less like a wind and more like a draft under the door.
Ooh.
Those Nidus Worms just did not work out. I want to
No.
see a more solid game out of the wind here.
Last time the wind was all like, but it needs to be like,
Yeah, man.
blowing.
He
that
needs
wind.
to turn into a tornado.
I think that might have been, out of all the jokes I've ever said in our broadcast, the worst one.
I don't know. You have told some
I
terrible,
have told
terrible
some terrible
jokes.
ones.
You've told jokes that have made me want to just give up on my passions in life.
Or Joe, it's a terrible thing to say to me during the broadcast. All right.
I never lie to you, Tasteless.
That's the problem. You always tell the truth. That's actually your problem, Artosis.
I know.
Zerg going for the safest opening.
Yep.
Extractor, then pool.
Son really knows his build orders very, very well. That probe definitely waiting to build a Nexus. I wish he would have mined minerals, though.
Yeah, that's how you do it if you're really good.
Well, the Son is really good, but that's how you do it if you're tasteless.
That's what Tasteless does. I get one mineral, send him early. If he gets there a little bit later than I expected, I make the Nexus first. Otherwise, I get an extra mineral.
Yeah. It's 5 minerals.
You want to know what's really sick? You guys want to hear a sick trick?
What?
On Xel'Naga Caverns, when you scout, it's 1-on-1 map, take a mineral from the gold base on the way there, scout him. When your probe escapes, send the gold minerals back. Wow. That is sick.
Wow.
Yeah. Forge first. I'm wondering if we're going to see the... you and me have been doing this. It's pretty good. The Void Ray Colossus build.
Oh, I stopped doing that. It's so unfair.
I love that build.
That build is so
That's
funny.
the only build I can do while eating a sandwich. You just turtle gets Void Rays and Colossus.
It's
I can actually play Jenga and do that build.
I'm really good at Jenga, by the way.
You cheat when you play Jenga.
No, I play house rules.
No,
Jenga.
you don't, man.
Yeah, I do. What?
You use
tell me how I play Jenga?
Yeah,
Who are you? Are
I know
my
you
mom?
play Jenga. I'm not your mom. I'm your dad, Artosis.
Ooh.
No, you use the pieces. You push the blocks out on Jenga.
It's house rules Jenga, man. It's more skill.
So as you can see, Protoss at the entrance here, what he's doing is he's making the entrance smaller.
Yep. And notice the probe sneaking in here. Beautiful move by Sanzeth. In fact, he has another probe out in the map. Just because it is so important, you know exactly what your opponent's doing. Is he making a Baneling Nest? Is he making a Roach Warren? What is he doing? Is he teching quickly? That is how you stop the cheeses and you build less cannons. You don't want to build a lot of cannons. If you can get away with one cannon, you are so well off, Tasteless.
Got to be careful, though. Don't get too greedy. Very nice. Puts a pile in there. He said, all right, this drone is coming to make an expansion. I will spend some money making sure he can't get more money.
Yeah, it's a great move, and that's going to draw all the Zerglings up there. May even give a nice little timing for that probe to scout again. Now the Chrono boosting out that Warp Gate. Now, I'm glad that the Wind is looking like he wants to play a more macro-intensive game this time. He's not going to try anything gimmicky. Well, he's going to want to get that third base up, just starting it finally. There it is.
There it is. Artosis would never lie to you.
That's right. Right now, we do have 28 drones against 34 probes.
Oh, he's going to go for a hug-style play. Getting lots of gateways.
Yeah.
Going to pressure. You like to do this, too.
Gateway pressure is quite good, man. You can't let them drone forever. You got to at least move out and do something.
The Wind is doing a very StarCraft 1-esque opener. Whoa. That is actually... He's going to have to cut probes.
This is actually what he did against Nest T to knock him out.
Yeah.
He went for 6 Warp Gate timing rush after a Forge expansion. knocked down the third base of Nestea, and then just went into a standard macro game. It's very, very solid. Chrono boosting out that +1 as well. Makes a huge difference. Huge, huge difference. Makes Zealots kill Zerglings in 2 hits. Makes Stalkers own stuff even harder. The drone count catching up to the probe count. 38 against 39 now.
All right, he's going to start applying the pressure. When you do this build, you want to be chrono boosting +1 attack. And as you can see, he's doing right there. Now, I don't know if this is the best build to do on this map. This kind of build is best on a map where you're pretty close.
Well, these rush distances aren't going to be too bad. And we see he is warping in on that low ground right there.
He does have a probe with his army, so he will be building a pylon pretty soon.
Going to be a little bit scared. He is making 10 roaches and 12 lings. That should be enough to take this out, but will it all be there in time? We're going to have to see. Burrow on the way.
He's going to go. He's going to go for Roach Burrow here.
Might want to make a force field wall.
Yeah, he should. In between the hatchery.
Oh, he's going to actually try to kill off some roaches, but not targeting very well.
The Stalkers are in bad position. Sentries should not be in front.
He's got to be very careful on this. Losing
the wind's
would be bad. Yeah, the wind going to hold on here. And his roach is dealing significant damage. A lot of the sentries going down. That is a very good victory for the wind. Killing out even more. And San Zenith, he got too greedy, Tasteless. The wind absolutely punishing him at this point. You know, killing off sentries this early, it's going to pay huge dividends later on. The sentries are how you control battles all game long. And as soon as you kill off the sentries, Protoss army is not nearly as fearsome. That's a ton of gas that Sun is going to have to put back in to his army.
Corners another sentry here.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
We do have a Spire on the way as well as Burrow.
Oh my god, he's going to take it all the way home.
If he can kill that cannon with Burrow finishing up. Nope, I guess he's not going to go for it. Ton of cannons being made. It's a little bit scary. But, you know, that's too bad. With Burrow, if your opponent does a build like this, you can really abuse him. You just keep rallying roaches and burrow the ones that are being damaged and burrow them all and pop them up. And it gets very scary for a Protoss player.
Actually, I think Burrow Roach is the best response to this kind of rush.
Yeah,
the Robo's going to be late. Protoss, if they go 2-base rush like they did, like San Zenith did, they're going to be stuck on 2 bases.
Yeah. The wind has control for right now.
If they're stuck on 2 bases, you know what they're going to want to get? It's Colossus, not Observers.
Yeah. Well, an Observer is on the way. Spire just finishing up. Roaches going home. Victorious.
If I were the wind, I'd get a few mutas, Overseer, just try to snipe the first Observer. Ooh. In StarCraft 2, they almost never get more than 1 Observer. They should in a perfect game, but we just don't see it. Because Colossus, Immortals, especially against Roach Burrow, I mean, you want to get those units out.
Absolutely, and we do have +1 attack and 7 mutas being made. So we are going to see those mutas, Tasteless, that you wanted to see so badly. I love that the wind is taking a 4th base right now. Perfect timing on that. Getting his Overlord speed as well. The Observer coming over to observe. Very passive unit.
The Observer sort of looks like that Sentinel in the Matrix. It's like the baby version of the Sentinel in the Matrix. He's got his little wiggly, flippery tentacle things coming up.
And it's time for some Mutalisk harassment. It's going to be very annoying for San. And I'm wondering how many mutas he's actually going to go ahead and make. He's already got 7. He is making another one. But will he keep on mutas or transition to something else? He is getting drops, which I absolutely love. You know, when the Protoss army moves out, go and drop the main. A great move to do. Just pick off anything you can with these mutas for now. The wind actually playing beautifully. Nice. Right now, if you look at the mini-map, everybody, in fact, not just Tasteless, everyone look at the mini-map. Notice how the wind has little purple dots all over the place. He is just scouting like a madman.
He's dropping creep at every expansion, so Protoss can't make a nexus there.
Yeah. And
so good.
It gives him such map awareness. He realizes, okay, yeah, Sen's going to get that 3rd. It's kind of out of the way. It's going to be hard for me to truly attack. You know, just fly around with the mutas as long as possible. And Sun, oh, I like this choice a lot, Tasteless. He's not going to go for Colossus. Instead, he's teching up 2 High Templars. I love that choice. You know, mutas get pretty scary if you go Colossus.
Well, the problem with going Colossus up 2 base against Terran or Zerg is that you kind of get this weird... Oh, very nice. He did what I was talking about, sniped the Observer. The problem is that it's so clear that you have to protect the Colossus. And micro Colossus should be easy, but you'd be amazed some of these players have a hard time keeping that thing alive because the angles it's coming out, a lot of them are putting on a different hotkey. TheWind has a drop, a potential drop. We don't know if he's going to do it right now. Yep. But he'll probably do it when San Zenith tries to move out.
That's the right time to do it. And the thing is, he might do it and then go in another area with his mutas as well. That's another possibility. We're going to have to see. In fact, I think that is what he's going to do. I think he wants to try to take out some of the stuff at the 3rd base. Or here we go, the army of San Zenith going over. Well, TheWind unloads in the main base. And now, what does Sun do? Separating up his units some. A lot of mutas are in there.
I think that's too many mutas. Unless I'm mistaken, I could be wrong.
Well, High Templars are coming.
Oh, he had to run for it.
Storm not quite done yet, though, but he doesn't know that.
Enough to intimidate TheWind.
TheWind doing a great job thus far. Right now, we do have 81 drones against 69 probes.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
Supply-wise, TheWind 170, 174 now, 127 for San Zenith. Kadarin Amulet on the way. Wants to warp in Storms.
Now, for the time being, TheWind is way on top. He has map dominance. He's kept it since the failed 2-base rush. And that's a pretty waterfall, Joseph.
It is very nice. And blinks under the mutas.
TheWind,
what are you doing?
They're like on hold position. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's actually going to open up the map.
Yeah, he's lost way too many mutas here, Tasteless. Way too many mutas. But he's switching over to mostly roaches, getting a really sizable army. He still has drops as well. Dark Shrine. Such a great building to make on these new, bigger maps.
Yeah.
So hard to actually have detection everywhere.
You know what? Speaking of Dark Templars, I always think to myself, because I haven't gotten to mess around with this as much, would a fast expand into DT be good on this map?
You know what I mean? Interesting, huh?
I haven't tooled around with it, but okay, this is what you want to do.
You know, San has a big army in the center of the map, so this drop is going to be very, very annoying for him.
He wants to go for the warp gates.
And the drop has commenced. We do have San going up with his army to get back in there, but this is just so annoying for him. In fact, there's burrow movement on those roaches, so if there's no observer, well, there is, but if there wasn't, that'd be pretty awesome for him. Roach is doing good damage. In the meantime, we do have Mutalist harassment. Muta's catching probes that are trying to transfer down to the new 4th base. TheWind's macro really picking up now, Tasteless. He has the bottom right side of the map, taking 2 bases down there.
Nice snipe on the High Templar. He just let those Burrowed Roaches stay in there. Big mistake by San Zenith. Muta's coming up here.
More and more
probe
kills. You know, right now, TheWind, he's maxed out. He has 3K, 1K. Whereas San Zenith is at 150 with no money whatsoever. You know, his probe count is being kept pretty low. It's only at 66 still. By now, he should have easily had 80. Little bit of an overreach with those mutas.
Yeah.
Now we do have in the bottom right a DT and some Zolots being warped in. That hatchery is as good as gone.
You know, I gotta say, I feel like TheWind is sort of letting San Zenith ease back into a favorable position here.
Yeah. Well, San, he's keeping up on his upgrades. TheWind as well.
The battle is about to occur.
We have a bunch of roaches in the middle of the map right now.
Nice Storms.
Against Psystorm, burrow movement is quite nice. You can almost ride it out.
Nice.
The Wind is running away, making a ton more Roaches right now, but this is a pretty fearsome army against the Roaches. Good, well-upgraded Stalkers with an Immortal in there.
Immortal's going to be great against Spine Crawlers.
Yep. Immortal great against pretty much everything but Hydras and Lings. It's even good against Mutus. Like, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, all right, you got
Now Arto says.
2-2 almost done for the Wind. It's going to start making a ton of Spine
How are
Crawlers.
Sans upgrades?
Sans upgrades right now are at 1 attack, 2 armor. Not getting any more at the moment.
Frankly, if I were him, I would have bum rushed the bottom right. Just made cannons and killed the bottom right location.
That Zealot was tough. Well, he did kill the bottom right, but...
No, the other bottom right expansion.
Yes. Well,
Whoa.
Here we go. A ton of Psystorms, a ton of Roaches.
There's too many Stalkers.
Great usage of burrow movement to get out from underneath those Psystorms. And it looks like Sun Zenith's army might be picked off here. And this is not good for Sun. His supply is just plummeting. In the meantime, the Wind is just making a ton of units. 20 Zerglings and 10 Roaches being made. 130 supply against 163. But Sun does have 2 fully mining bases. The Wind up at 3 or so.
Ooh, we're going to see some Broodlords. Broodlords are so good.
That's the supreme late game unit against Protoss. Once you get enough of them with well upgraded Roaches, it becomes a quite difficult thing to deal with. A lot of times you're going to want to switch over to Void Rays, but when Zerg has an economy like this, Tasteless, pretty hard to do. Nice Psystorms on those Roaches, but all he cares about is killing this group of Stalkers right now. Again, beautiful Psystorms by Sun Zenith. Just not enough, though.
Yeah, the Roaches are too tough right now. Very nice for the DTs.
I tell you, that burrow movement is actually paying huge dividends for the Wind right now.
The DTs did spot, we didn't get a shot of it on the screen, but the DTs did spot the Corruptors. So Sun Zenith, being a very good player, is going to know what's going on.
Oh,
But
certainly.
here's the issue. Even though Sun Zenith has lost the vast majority of the battles in the middle of the map, he's still slowly taking the left side of the map.
Yeah.
Over.
Ever so slowly but surely. Thing is, Sun has lost too many units in those last few battles. He's at 115 supply, the Wind is at 150, and 7 Broodlords. You need a lot of Stalkers and a lot of High Templars. If that's going to be your unit composition, you need a lot of them, Tasteless.
I think the best response, if you see them going Broodlords, is to start pumping out Phoenixes and DTs. Get in there, start killing off Broodlords. Yeah, it's good.
Void Rays, a good counter against
Void
them.
Rays are, yeah, also
you have to be
quite
careful,
good.
though, if they get a ton of Corruptors. You need quite an economy to counter Broodlords, because, well, Broodlords take quite an economy to actually get. Good Psystorms going off.
Templar's in a bad position here.
GG.
Sun Zenith taps out. Says, I don't want to play in this game anymore. Let's go to game number 3. The Wind has got to be happy.
Really, a great game by the Wind. You have to hand it to him, Tasteless. San came out with a very strong 6 gateway timing attack after expansion, but the Wind, he had great timing on his Roaches. He controlled the map. He took that 4th base. He got some Mutas for harassment. Went Mutas for a little bit. That made San decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make Stalker High Templar. So then, in response, he's like, well, that's fine then. I'm going to switch back over to Roaches, get some burrow movement to deal with that Psystorm, and everything is going to be happiness in my life.
You know, I think it all goes back to that failed rush, the failed 2-base rush.
He lost a lot of sentries in there.
You know, the angle was weird because there were 2 Stalkers in the back attacking a hatchery.
Yeah.
And then it's like the sentry's like, I got it. They're like,
if you're going to do a build like that, you have to be very specific. What are your goals here? Is it to kill Roaches? Because he trapped some Roaches and killed them.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I don't think that's the right thing to do. In that situation, I would have made a force field wall, targeted the hatchery, try to kill the hatchery, and get out of there. In fact, even send your sentries slightly before you're out of force field energy. They're slower. The Stalkers can outrun. Get the last damage in with your Stalkers. Kill that hatchery. Choosing to be like, well, I'm going to see if I can't just kill everything he has. No, that's not the way you should do it.
Well, he must have had too much success with that rush and been too confident.
Well, he beat Nest-T with it, so he's like, Nest-T's better than you, the Wind. And the Wind's like, well, he might be, but not by like a whole lot.
It was kind of funny. I do totally agree with you, though. You need to kill the hatchery, block him off. By the way, we're going to have a 1-minute break. So, now would be a good time. You know what you can do 1 minute?
What?
You can brush your teeth.
You're supposed to brush your teeth for 2 minutes, Faceless.
But I brush it for 1. Nobody brushes their teeth for 2 minutes. It's so much time.
I do.
We'll be back soon.